totally baseless.
Hey, it's Totally Baseless. My name's John, and with me is a guy who started his own cult, but nobody actually joined it. So does that count? Dave, welcome to the podcast.
Hey, I'm an army of one.
All right. And a guy who's been looking for a cult, but nobody will actually take him. Dan, welcome to the show.
I brought my own Kool-Aid.
Yeah, you'd think that would be enough, but no. And a guy who thinks they're both crazy, Steve, our resident cult expert. What show?
One of us.
Yeah. Where you go, we go all, Steve. That is for sure. All right. Well, so this is a special episode looking at cults, what they are, and some examples. We're going to debate over whether they're a cult or not. Steve, you're our resident expert. Tell us, what is a cult? And can the three people that listen to this show count?
They can, but only if they see me as the supreme leader of the world. That's the only minor
that's
requirement.
one of the requirements.
That's one of the requirements, of course. Yeah. So there's actually four things that make a cult, and I'm gonna go in sequence here. The first is that you have authoritarian control, meaning that there's a leader that basically rules everything. Whatever he says you do, and it's usually a he, by the way. Whatever he says you do, you have to do.
Yep. So I can think of some people that qualify for that.
Some people sure do. Exactly. The he who is never wrong. That's the leader. The second is extremist belief as well. And that could be, hey, we're going to be taken over by aliens in a couple of years. Because she writes and sings her own songs. She's actually the best singer in the world. That kind of stuff.
Well, so
we're going with that one.
Not naming names, but
I think
dropping
my
hints.
fourth grade teacher qualifies so far.
She probably does. Yeah. The third one, and this is quite important as well. There is isolation from society, meaning that once you join the cult,
Like in a
you're
classroom.
no longer like in a classroom. Exactly. You
Bringing
are
up some
no
trauma
longer
there.
part of society. Yeah.
Yeah, Mrs. Probert, I'm looking at you.
I had her for third grade. She was the
I
worst.
had Probert.
I mean, those were some extremist beliefs.
Yeah. Oh.
And the fourth and final thing that makes a cult is actually a veneration of a single individual. So you worship this person. This is your god. Whatever if they go right, you go right. Whatever they say goes. And it's also, again, this is the person that you look up to the most. And I'm thinking here again of popular singers, politicians as well, Charles Manson, all of them, Jim Jones. All these people have been venerated by the cult members.
Yep. A lot of high school crushes can kind of be in that category too.
I worshipped at the cult of Eric back in the day.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Oh, I didn't know you worshipped.
I know who that was. Wow.
That
That was
She
the
was-
story. That was like
she was,
mythology, even.
yes, she was the it girl, I guess, for high school, for junior high and high school for a while.
Like
Junior
that,
high and high school
that
for
name
a
even
while.
filtered down to my grade. I'm like, hey.
How many years did you repeat some of these grades?
I'm just saying, she was hot in junior high and she was hot in high school.
Oh man.
At least,
at
least
your
for
age,
high school.
by the
For-
way, he's talking about a girl he met 5 years ago. So this
when
is
she
not...
when she was in high school.
Yeah,
No.
that's right.
Yeah.
Well, a few years ago, yeah.
It's like
You
Hot
sick
Tub Time
bastard.
Machine where he calls his wife.
Yeah.
Well, that
So-
sounds like veneration to me.
I think it fits a pattern quite well. There's actually four broad types of cults as well. One is the doomsday cult rather, and that's like your basic. What's the one with the guys with the
Your
Nikes?
basic doomsday cult.
Your basic
The
doomsday
Heaven's
cult.
Gate.
The
No
Heaven's
extra-
Gate, thank you.
No extra features, but you're
Yeah.
slimmed down,
Yeah.
basic model.
Your basic model cult, yeah. So that's a doomsday cult. The other is this is actually quite controversial, a political cult as well. That can also
I don't
be a
know.
cult.
I don't think that's controversial. I think it's controversial because the people in it scream and shout.
Yeah.
But that's kind of the definition.
Exactly. The third one actually seems to be less fun. It's actually the religious cult, and that's where basically, they create their own religion, their own theology, with the leader, of course, being at the center of it all. So that's the third kind of cult. Yeah, exactly. That's just like some guy.
Can you just say religious without
Yeah.
the cult? Without the cult part of it?
And the fourth and final type of cult is actually a sex cult, and that's things like Nixium, right? That weird Hollywood, New York guy with the actress from Supergirl, I think, on the show. That's the last kind of cult. It's a sex cult.
That's the
yeah.
cool guy cult. That's the
Yeah,
cool
that's
guy cult.
cool.
At first,
Cool.
you think,
Well,
given choices, which one would you like to join? I'll take number 4, please.
Well, join or leave,
Yeah.
actually. Do you want to be the guy? Hey, Dan, here's Steve. You're gonna be his partner.
Wait a minute, which cult is this?
Yeah,
Which
yeah,
one did I sign up for?
You
I
want
think
to
you
be
wanna
the
be
guy
the leader.
making the decisions in that
Yeah,
cult.
right,
You
right.
don't want to be. You don't want to be the guy that's told what to do. Oh
On
man.
any of these, you want to be the founder, not the
Right.
follower.
Excuse me, I think I signed up for the wrong cult here. This isn't what I asked for.
And can I have my money back?
Yeah. And my pants.
Yeah, that Nexium guy. Oh shoot, I forgot his name. But
It's Keith Rainieri.
Yes,
right,
good
right,
call.
Ranieri. Good one. Yeah, well, he branded the women. You're my property.
Right? You think once again, we've touched over this before, like there were signs, right? And there's
But
this
isn't
might
that
not be a self-help group after all.
isn't that also your undoing? I didn't touch him. There was no
Yeah.
evidence. I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Dude, it says Nexium, property of.
She
What do
branded
you
it
Keith
herself.
R? You know,
Yeah. There's a lot of Keith R's out there.
that could be anybody.
Yeah. Keith Reynolds, Keith
Why does it got to
Ramirez.
be me?
He'd sweat. Wrong letter. Yes.
Oh man.
Well, what's funny though is like if we get started with like the Doomsday cult, though, right? And then everybody thinks of Heaven's Gate, but you look at that guy. You decided to follow that guy until your death.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
was
kind of
really
breaks the mold
charismatic?
of the. He breaks the mold of the charismatic cult leader. He's like a doofus.
Yeah.
He did. So it's funny because I think that there's actually one really funny aspect of cults that's actually on this list here, and that is I think you need kind of weird, creepy eyes to be a cult leader. That should be a requirement.
Yeah, that's a good one.
A really troubling gaze. It's like I don't want
That-
to look at that guy.
Yeah.
What's that comedian? Marty Feldman? He would have been a great cult.
Well, a lot of ex-girlfriends. I mean, I guess they told me I have creepy eyes, so
You're on your
Just
way,
to get
John.
out.
They said creepy stare.
and just because you're staring at a girl at a bar doesn't make her your girlfriend.
Yeah.
She was my girlfriend, man.
Honestly, officer, she was.
Yeah, okay, high school chaser, whatever.
At
Yeah.
the
You
time,
know-
I was also in high school. at
Oh
the
yeah, but
time.
you weren't supposed to be there,
Yeah.
Grandpa. All
Allow
right.
me to clarify.
You know, I was looking at articles for this kind of thing, and there's a lot of them that are saying like, how do you know if you're in a cult? Warning signs for a cult. Dude, if you have to think about it for a second, you're in a cult.
Yeah.
You're in a
right?
cult.
That's right. You're like, what am I doing here in this room with all these other people in togas worshiping this guy?
Yeah, maybe. I'm gonna look at this article in Oprah
Yeah.
magazine and see, well, there's 10 signs you're in a cult. Well, I'm only like 8 of them, so maybe
Yeah.
it's not a cult.
Listen, we all got the matching tracksuits. We all gave our money to this guy. I don't know. Maybe we're in a cult.
I don't know. Let me see what Oprah says. Let's see. A belief that the leader is right at all times.
Yeah. If
Yeah,
Oprah
it's kinda-
says it,
Oh boy, am I hungry. They haven't fed me today.
Yeah.
You may be in a cult.
You're in a cult. Yeah.
and also,
That's
isn't it a little
obvious.
weird that Oprah is telling you if you may or may not be in a cult?
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
she's
In the
Isn't
magazine.
she a cult leader?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, let me add that
subscribe
the
to a
list.
certain magazine. You might be in a cult.
Is this the magazine where she's always on the cover of the magazine every
Yeah,
issue?
every time.
It's all Oprah all the time.
You might
It's
want to
all
I
say
can't
she's
believe I made the
venerated.
cover again.
Yeah. What a surprise.
What a surprise.
Employee of the month once again. Oprah.
I'm
Guess
thin,
I'm
I'm
keeping
fat.
my parking
I'm
space.
thin. I'm fat. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and she was taking those diet pills, but she was denying it, right?
Of course she was. Yeah.
She
Because
lied about it.
she's an infallible
she-
cult leader.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
can say
right,
whatever
right,
she wants.
exactly.
She's all, no, I am not. And she could swallow one right in front of everybody. Nope, not me. I don't know what you're talking about. These aren't diet pills.
Right. That's an M&M.
So wouldn't Oprah's top 10 signs you're in a cult, would they just all be, no, you're not in a cult?
Buy next
two,
month's
no,
issue.
this isn't a cult.
How did it all start? I bought a subscription to Oprah Weekly or whatever.
You must
Next
have low
thing-
self-esteem and be subject to a cult leader then.
Yep. Next thing you know, I'm wearing the same thing Oprah's wearing and wondering if I'm going to Australia.
Oh man. I'm still waiting for my new car. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, a lot of these are pretty obvious, these warning signs. I don't know. Low education level, is that a warning sign?
Oh, that's a good question.
You
Yeah,
have to
actually,
really
I
think
I
about
don't think
this.
it is. I think as we get into the actual cults that we'll discuss, I think there's folks who arguably are not low educational. Really, they sound like they are, but they're not.
I think really
Yeah,
the
yeah,
low
yeah.
educational level are the people that can sniff out the bullshit a lot quicker, you know?
I think
All right,
it's,
my bad, my bad.
I think it's
I'm just
more of
saying, you
some
never
sort of
hear of, like-
emotional. I think there's some sort of emotional trauma, maybe. Not
Yeah,
that
yeah,
you're
yeah.
not that you're stupid. It's just that you're.
Let Dave speak up for the low education
Yeah,
people.
yeah. Hold it, guys.
Don't
Let me talk
interrupt
to
him.
you. Let me talk to you about the common man. We're dumb as hell.
Right?
But we don't fall into cults. No. But
You
we're
never
not
hear about a
emotionally
cult
damaged.
of like auto workers or like, janitors, right? There's no cult of like, it's always
No,
the
it's-
cult of what?
It's usually
Like
the people that
Nexium.
have.
All these people were like highly educated women. They weren't like,
But they
Wait,
all
women,
have some,
did you say, Dan? Just women, huh?
well,
Oh, I see how you are.
well, no, I
They're
said
weak-minded.
Nexium
Are you
was.
saying women are weak-minded, Dan?
I think they all had some emotional baggage. Is what it is, and the cult somehow fulfills
Emotional damage
the
and
the
low.
emotional angst that they have.
That makes sense. Yeah.
I would gather to say it's more of, a lot of times it's more of the highfalutin types that are more.
Yeah,
High
well, usually,
highfalutin types.
the poor
Hey,
little
Dan,
rich
speaking
kid.
up for the low education group again. Highfalutin types.
It's the poor little rich kid, right? Oh, your mommy and daddy didn't take care of you. Come to me and
All
bring me
of
your
you.
money.
I
Yeah.
love your money. Yeah.
I love, your money.
Huh, huh.
Right.
All right. So I have a list of, we know about, these very famous cults like the People's Temple, Jim Jones,
CrossFit.
Nexium. We've talked, cross.
Oh, that's
CrossFit.
so a
All
cult.
right. So let's get into some of these. So I start off with kind of a slow pitch one, I think. Is Trump a cult? Does he follow those 4 characteristics of a cult?
Oh, 100%. So it's
Oh.
the leader controls everything. So it's a very it's very authoritarian. There's extremist belief. He did not lose the election, by the way.
Okay, so the first one, authoritarian control. Well,
Yep.
he's definitely talked about this, how he wants to be a dictator on day one.
Or just one day. Yeah.
Well, I'm reading between the lines on that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so yeah. So he definitely disparages anybody who questions his authority.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
okay, I'm gonna say, number 1 seems pretty clear cut, yeah.
So ding ding ding. The next one is extremist beliefs.
Let's say yes.
Yes.
I'd say yes. I'd say that if you believe that an 80-year-old man can have naturally blonde hair, that's an extremist belief.
Right.
Wasn't he talking about like stopping the
Naturally
hurricane?
orange skin.
Yeah, stopping the storm.
I wouldn't put it past him.
Or just a Sharpie.
Yeah.
yeah, right. The
He's just
Sharpie.
erases it. I'm gonna erase where it's going
And
and
then it
find
went
where
red.
it's gonna go.
So the
That's how much
forecast
power he has.
shows that. Yeah, right. Or like, what was it? The Clorox, the
Yeah, drinking
could
bleach.
get rid of the
Yes.
COVID.
Yeah, won't you look into that? Like the lady, like what?
She's like, what did I get myself into?
Yeah,
Here,
okay,
have a
sir.
shot of
We'll look into
Clorox.
it.
All
I'll tell you
right,
right now, sir, it won't work.
extremist / dumbass beliefs. Check.
That's one as well. Yes. The third one is isolation from society. And for this one, actually, I'm gonna go and call back to our supreme leader Larry David, who in one episode he wore a MAGA hat as a way to isolate people and have people not come to him. I think that if you wear a MAGA hat in some parts of the country, you're isolated, and therefore, yes, ding ding ding, Trump
Oh,
is
yeah.
But
out.
in some places, you're applauded.
I think you're in then. Yeah. It's a good in out thing. I think if you wear one, it's like, okay, you're in the cult. If you don't,
Yeah.
you're not in the cult. Yes.
Well, with this one, I think more of like social media and you're like
Oh,
TV
the echo
watching. You're
chamber.
only
Yeah.
watching, you're isolating, you're self-isolating. Like you're blocking people that don't agree with you. You're going on Telegram, you're watching Newsmax. Yeah, self-enforcing. You're getting rid of friends that, heaven forbid, voted for someone not Trump, even in a
Mhm.
primary.
Even Meatball
So
Ron.
yeah, you're kind of blocking everybody up. And we've all heard lots of stories where people have cut off members of their family for different political views. So, okay.
That's the thing.
Yeah,
The last one
there
is
is some isolation to that. Yeah.
there
We
is.
should get a real bell, by the way.
We should get a real bell.
I'm
The
not
last
knocking you, Steve,
I
but
know. I'll do my best. Who's the guy from Police Academy with the noises? Michael something?
Michael Winslow.
Michael
We'll fix it in
Winslow.
post. We'll fix it in post.
We'll fix it in
fix
post.
it
Yeah.
in post. Yeah.
We'll get the sound effects in post.
Yeah, yeah, there you go.
Friend of the podcast, Michael Winslow is here.
Ah,
Ding.
the last one, and I think this is actually the most clear cut one: veneration of a single individual.
And I like the examples like Charles Manson or Donald Trump.
The only thing that find it hard to place him as the cult leader is that it's not like he's trying to organize all these people. The only reason he's doing this is to be president, right? He doesn't actually want everybody to send him $20.
He does. Have you
Trump
seen the
steaks,
NFT?
Trump
Yes,
vodka.
yeah. No, he's constantly raising money off of like the arrest picture and
Indictments,
Yeah,
mugshots. Yeah.
yeah.
yeah, no, he's
I mean,
constantly
yeah,
raising
I mean,
money.
I see this more as a money-making opportunity for the guy. Straight up, he doesn't care about the people.
That's
or
every
he
cult
He
leader.
doesn't care about fooling them into wanting to love him because he knows people hate him, and he doesn't care if the other people hate him.
I
He
think
wants-
you're talking from your point of view. There's a lot of people that love him.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm getting at. I think they're attracted to him, not that
Yeah.
he's trying to attract them. He doesn't give a shit. He doesn't give a shit about them. He doesn't. You know what I mean? I mean,
No, he
But-
likes to be adored, though. He loves the rallies, and he really hates it if somebody disagrees or says that he's wrong about anything.
Like
he
if
beat
we
me
use
down. Sure.
the Heaven's Gate example again, the guy's not this charismatic guy, but there was people that kind of shared that same belief. But Trump doesn't give a fuck about what the people care as long as they like him.
Yeah, as long as they bend the knee to him, he's happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I
with
don't-
the Heaven's
fine.
Gate guy, it wasn't so much that they worshipped him, but they all jumped on board with craziness.
Yeah. All right. I see it. Carry on. I didn't
All
want to derail this.
Send
Go
your $20 in. That's all. Yeah. So Trump hits all four.
I think he qualifies. He's it.
And not everybody that voted for Trump, but there are people that do fit these
Oh
categories.
yeah. There's
Yeah.
nut jobs that are like way in on him, right? And they're looking at the ones that are always interviewed, right?
Yeah.
It's always the ones.
Yeah.
It's
I
always the
think there's
ones
people
that.
that just vote for him just to spite the Democrats, but that don't really like.
I think that was maybe the first time, and then they kind of like, oh shit. And then
Yeah.
they voted for Biden the second time, like, or anyone else, not Trump.
No.
Not that they love Biden.
Yeah, but then he's got his diehards that will believe everything.
Right,
That,
right.
that still believe that what he's saying that the election was stolen.
January 6th wasn't an
Yeah.
insurrection. It was Antifa, and Trump didn't do anything wrong ever in his whole life since he
The
didn't,
ones
he
that
didn't
buy the
chop down
flag.
the apple tree. He's like,
Yeah.
doing
The ones that hang the flag, and then they have the poster of him with his face superimposed on Rambo's body.
Yeah. We're talking about a subset of Trump
Yeah.
voters.
Yeah.
Not-
hardcore,
not all of them.
the hardcore Trumpies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the ones that like have that stuff non-ironically. You know that.
Yeah,
literally
yeah.
that Trump
Right.
is Rambo.
You should
Yeah.
laugh, not like salute that kind of flag.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that subset is still millions of people, so it's
Yeah. It's
still
Yeah, it's a pretty big cult. So yeah.
pretty big cults.
Yeah.
All right. So that's one. We knocked it down. All right. So number two, how about Scientology?
Scientology, that's a really good one as well. Let's see. Does Scientology have authoritarian control? Not unless you're not in Sea Org, but otherwise, yeah.
No. By law, we do not want to say anything bad about Scientology.
Allegedly.
Yeah, they are not a cult.
Yeah, right.
No, but go ahead.
We
They are.
cannot say that. No, they're
This
who
is
you
a
call, yeah,
statement
yeah.
prepared by my lawyers.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's one for sure. The next one is, of course, extremist belief. So do they believe in this guy Xenu? I don't know, but is that more weird than like Jesus or Buddha? I don't know. It's all about the
Well,
Yeah.
context, man.
I don't
Yeah,
think it's so much
yeah.
the veneration of Xenu as like all the other like beliefs that lead up to that. Oh, you are a 38th level clear android
Yeah.
seeker or whatever, you know?
Yeah, and then when you get to the point where they get to tell you the origins of Scientology, they give you that horse shit. You're like, okay, yeah, L. Ron Hubbard was a shitty sci-fi writer. if that's his origin story of
Like-
his creation myth, that's it. Really, dude? That's what you got?
That's the
your dude.
one.
Yeah, he was born on Krypton, man.
Shitty Marlon Brando imitation.
All
So
right.
we actually have a production update now. Now we have a bell sound for whenever a cult qualifies as a cult.
Oh, okay.
There you go. There we go. All right. The third one is isolation from society. I don't know. Are Scientologists isolated from society?
Well, yes,
As soon as they tell you they're Scientologists,
but anyone who tries to break away from Scientology, they are shunned by the Scientologists.
They do. Yes.
Like
Is it also-
Leah Remini?
I think also the guy's wife is missing. What's her name? Cheryl? Susan?
Oh, yeah,
Sandy?
the-
Something or other?
The David Miscavige.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
wait, what happened with this?
I think his wife hasn't been seen in
His-
public in about
whose wife?
7 years. The
Yeah.
wife of the leader, David Miscavige, I think is his name. His wife has not been seen in public in like 7 years.
Well, it's
He
hard to
seems
see it when
very
she's at the
broken up
bottom.
about it every time they mention it.
When she's at the bottom of a lake, it's kind of hard
Yeah.
to see her,
Ooh.
you know?
Yeah, and then the whole Danny Masterson thing where they came out where like these were all, I guess, people that were in Scientology. That's where he was getting these girlfriends, his girlfriends from, and then the church would like pressure them not to say anything.
Now he's isolated in prison.
yeah.
So isolated
that
from
a cult?
society? Check.
Yeah.
Veneration of a single individual? Does Scientology, or is that's Elron?
No, I think it's Tom Cruise, right?
Yeah. By now it's Tom Cruise.
He's the
Maverick
leader?
can do no wrong, people.
I like those Mission Impossible movies, though.
They are
And
pretty
Edge
fun.
If you
Edge of
forget that
Tomorrow
he's
was
batshit
awesome.
crazy, if you forget that he's batshit crazy, the movies are pretty good.
He's always running,
Yeah.
doing his own stunts, and just believing crazy shit. It's cool.
Oh, you got to run. Yeah.
You have to run
Yeah,
like
right.
like Tom Cruise.
Yeah, with those straight hands out, right?
Yeah.
All right. So, what is the verdict here on Scientology? Cult or no cult?
For legal purposes,
Yeah.
Scientology is fantastic.
We're gonna let the people decide for themselves on this.
All right.
one.
No bells for this one.
All
Well, the
right.
good
How
people
about
of Xenon 5 decide that.
Yeah.
yeah. Something similar to that? How is what about Bitcoin? Is Bitcoin a cult?
That definitely strikes me as a cult. So let's just go through the list one more time. Authoritarian control. That's actually kind of opposed to Bitcoin, right? And the whole ethos of like libertarian, no government interference. It's actually that's not really a bail for that one.
Well, the idea anyway is that it'll free you from government control and all that.
Exactly.
But who was the dude that came up with it, right? There was like one dude that like was really pushing it hard.
Satoshi
Elon Musk.
Nakamoto.
Yeah.
I believe that's Doge, not Bitcoin.
Yeah.
But isn't Bitcoin like a Ponzi scheme? So I mean, it shares a little bit of cult like.
Well, that's like
tendencies,
an
right?
extremist. Well, what is a Ponzi scheme? Extremist belief, but that's not authoritarian control.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah. I think in
Extremist-
this might be 3 out of 4.
Yeah,
This one might be-
Bitcoin
okay,
in and of
extremist-
itself is not a cult, but like all the people that are trying to get you like to go in on Bitcoin.
Yeah,
So they can
and
make
there's always
money.
like there's always
So
that one person
Bitcoin, I
at
don't
the
know
top,
if it
right, that was
qualifies
actually
as far as
the one making all the money.
isolation from society, the third characteristic.
Well,
Well,
in all
you-
fairness, I think that when you do bring a Bitcoin at a party, people kind of tend to step away from you. So that's a bit of isolation.
Yeah.
And usually aren't all those people that are into Bitcoin are in their basement on their computer all the time. So they're pretty much isolated, right? They're all,
As
they're all-
opposed to us who are in random rooms in our house on a computer.
isolated.
Yeah, yeah. By the way,
Talking-
Steve and I have both owned Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies.
Yeah, you look like a cult member.
Oh.
all right? I knew it.
This is all part of your plan.
No, I will not buy Bitcoin.
Yeah, right.
Or-
So I don't know about the isolation from society. Like, it could be like annoying, but isolation from society. Yeah, I don't know.
It's cult adjacent because all the people that are heavy into it seem heavy into it. But yeah, there's no like.
Yeah.
Although, if you ever watched The Anarchists, did you ever see that on HBO? I think it was.
No.
Oh, there's this documentary about these people that were gonna. It was called Anarchapulco. and
Oh
they had, like,
yes, yeah, I saw that. Yes, yeah,
And
I saw that.
Acapulco, I love it.
Yeah, I saw that. That was a good documentary. Yeah.
but it was like a shady ass Bitcoin guy. But then it was also all these like grungy, like crusty anarchists trying to like coexist in the same.
Yeah, but they weren't really anarchists, were they?
No.
They were just people that were fed up with work and wanted to go move down to
Yeah,
yeah, Mexico, and
Mexico
party.
and not pay taxes. Really, is what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It was-
Yeah. And we're gonna prep for the end times when the zombies come.
by living in Cancun in a
Yeah,
freaking luxury
by drinking
hotel.
daiquiris by the
Yeah,
pool. You know?
right. Well, I mean, you got to live your life today.
We'll stick it to the man by having Margarita Mondays.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, Bitcoin. Okay, that's no bell for that one.
No bail for that one, no.
All right, but what about this whole CrossFit thing? If Bitcoin doesn't count, CrossFit seems a little bit suspect. Does it
Completely
fit,
a fucking cult,
does
especially
it fit
since
the 4 characteristics?
I want to believe it does actually because it's so freaking annoying.
What is it that's so annoying? What's the cult-like things about CrossFit?
You didn't do your workout today? Oh, dude. You can't do a kip up? Oh,
You can't do a what?
a kip up. I think it's what they're called.
Kip up?
What the hell is the kip up? Is that
the
the awful
wannabe-
pull-ups they do?
Yeah, the wannabe weird pull-ups that they do. It's a kip up. It's not a pull-up. It's a kip up. Where they look like they're spasmodic worms trying to do a pull-up.
Spasmodic worms.
Oh, I saw them at the Troubadour. They were awesome.
They opened for the dead Kennedys.
4 encores.
Yeah, right.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, like
Although I know
CrossFit is
for the
opposite of
CrossFit
Fight
one,
Club. It's like you must constantly talk about CrossFit.
Yeah.
you
Rule
must
number
tell
2.
everybody. I do
Talk
CrossFit.
about
CrossFit.
CrossFit.
You can never stop talking about CrossFit.
You don't? You don't partake?
You don't do CrossFit? And by the way, I'm also a vegan.
Yeah.
I'm a vegan CrossFit Bitcoin guy.
Yes.
I didn't know it was such a big thing. Is that a lot of people that do this CrossFit?
It's
Yeah,
it's a
it's a-
small
it's-
but very annoying population.
For a while, it was like the new workout thing, the new workout
Friend or
to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, it was like it was like jogging in the early 80s.
was it
Right,
the new
like-
Leggercise or Jazzercise or something?
Jazzercise? Is that the Jane Fonda? Is that Jane Fonda or no?
Raking
It
in
was like
money.
jazzercise for dudes with big trucks.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you couldn't go to the gym to do your CrossFit. You had to go to a CrossFit gym and flip tires.
Yeah.
And
And, yeah, usually they weren't so much gyms as like old like junkyards.
yeah, it's kind of cultish when you're in it, I guess. You think it's the best thing in the world. Oh, dude, I do CrossFit, man. Woo.
How long were you in it, Dave?
Well, look at my body. Can't you tell?
2 days?
I thought about it.
All right,
Until like
I-
people like started like dying. Like
Really?
they had like they had like CrossFit competitions and people were like dying at them. It was like, maybe this isn't the healthiest form of exercise.
Those were those Spartan runs or whatever they call them, where they had like where you do it's an obstacle course.
Tough Mudders.
Yeah, and then you go under
Oh.
like barbed wire, and then it was electrocuted, and like people died.
What? Electrocuted? Oh, I thought those Tough Mudders looked kind of fun, but I never did one.
There was somewhere they would have like electric the
Okay,
wire that
that's-
you
that's
go
a bit
under was
much.
electrified. It was electrified,
Yeah.
and people were getting electrocuted.
Shut
Well, that's just-
up.
Yeah, dude.
Well, it's
So,
a bit
like-
of liability.
Yeah, you would think that would never-
you signed the waiver.
Yeah, right, right.
We got you dead to rights.
Yeah.
All right. I'm
Literally.
actually going to call this one. I'm actually going to call this one. I believe CrossFit is it's a cult.
I'll go with that.
All right.
2 bells.
Let's- Oh, you're gonna put the bell in after?
No, right now.
Ding ding.
I don't hear anything.
Oh, you.
We can't hear it.
Oh, okay. That's for you to put it in later.
You might be in a cult. You
Fix
might
it in
be in a
post.
cult. If you can't hear the bell, you're not
You're
at
not
high
in the
enough
cult.
level in our
Yeah.
hierarchy yet.
If you send us $20,
You'll hear the bell.
and you keep listening to our show.
Yeah. Yeah.
You'll be
there
able
you
to
That's
get
go.
only
the
for
bell.
our Patreon
Yeah.
subscribers.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
get
right,
a bell.
right. Patreon. Is Patreon membership in a cult?
OnlyFans are a cult. Yes.
Oh man, that's a whole other thing. Yeah, yeah. All right. The last one for today, though, are Taylor Swift fans, or as they're better known, Swifties, are they a
Oh my
cult?
God. So I
Authoritarian?
actually have
Yeah.
I have some personal stake in this one. My daughter, who's 8 years old, is in the Taylor Swift cult.
Oh,
It's
man.
nonstop.
My heart
It's
goes out
nonstop.
to you. and
I
your
know it's
family.
terrible. It's terrible. We also have the added misery of having one Spotify account for the whole house. So whenever
Ah.
I play music and it stops, it's usually a fucking Taylor Swift song that comes on.
No.
And it's a cult. It is
I
the
think
worst.
I think for comedy purposes, yes, it's a cult.
It's a cult. Give me the bell. Ding 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 ding.
Yeah.
Generation of a single individual.
But she writes her own songs.
Yeah, extremist musical beliefs.
Yes. Isolation from society. Yes.
Yeah, they're on that stadium.
Yeah,
worshiping together.
they attack you. They attack you if you say anything bad about her.
Although actually, I have a bit of a hot take here. I know that Swifties are cults, but I think an even cultier figure is actually Beyonce. Call the cops.
Ah, what are they called?
Beehive?
Beehive. The Beehive. Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, you're right.
I
Are
think
you in the
yeah,
hive?
just pop in. I am not in the hive, although I'm a Swiftie by osmosis, I guess.
See, I think that's the difference still. Like the beehive, right? The hive, all the bees go in it and they
Yes.
are right. But Swifties kind of just generally celebrated. But beehives, you can't go against the queen.
I don't know. You get viciously attacked by anything against Taylor Swift.
Well, look, now
Didn't
she's trying to
that
take
Travis
over the
Kelce-
NFL.
She's trying to
now-
take over.
Now she's
Yeah,
trying to
yeah,
take
yeah.
over the NFL. I mean, she grabbed that guy. She's got that guy mesmerized. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he doesn't care. He's hitting it, right? He was like, he's like, sure, whatever. I'm like, yeah, I'm P-Whip. I don't care.
Yeah.
Look
I'm-
look who I
I'm-
got.
Yeah,
You don't have to say P, by the way. We're like a rated R podcast.
There's kids listening. There's Swifties listening.
They're Swifties
Yeah.
listening.
Swifties out there.
I'm trying not to offend the Swifties.
That's why I'm going to say it's not a cult. I'm a friend of the Swifties. Look at their fandom. If we can break us off a piece.
Yeah, well, we are gonna put hashtag Taylor Swift on our
Yeah.
on this
Again.
episode, right? Yeah.
Every
so,
episode.
Give
So,
me like
yeah.
1/1000th of that. We'll just take a little crumb.
I think it's a great.
join
cult,
that
actually.
cult.
I think it's a great cult. It's just this is actually
I
the
think
one
it's a
true.
great call.
It's just the one true cult.
And send all your
I mean-
Bitcoin to
I mean, if there's any
support
cult
at
to be a part of,
Team
really. If Taylor Swift is a cult, I'll take that one. I mean,
Even the NFL is going after her, right? They want all that Swifty.
well, for
Yeah.
sure. You know,
Yeah.
aside from like maybe the people that are minorly annoyed by they
The
might not like
only-
her music,
listen.
but what's the downside?
Downside is Travis Kelce's going to get burned when they break up. It's going to be a number
Well.
one song about how much of an asshole he was.
Well, you know, hey,
So he's going to be the next. He's going to be the next victim, I guess. But not me. I don't care, right?
Yeah, aside from Travis Kelce's ego, whatever. It's like
He can take it. He can take it. He's a big boy.
Yeah.
he can take it.
Yeah.
If we can take
I'm sure he's weighed the trade-off, right? Yeah, I'm gonna get a song written about me, how much of an asshole I was. But right
But
now,
now, yeah.
It's all good.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's like a risk you're willing to take, right? Who would not take that risk?
The risk-reward ratio is good.
And the songs come out, better that way. That All Too Well. That's pretty good. Thanks, Jake Gyllenhaal.
You know,
And when you look at it, right? If you had a choice of cults, who would you rather venerate? Taylor Swift or Donald Trump?
Well, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's better on the eyes, right?
I think it's pretty easy. Yeah.
Well, I'm like,
You know what she is? She's a better version of Alanis Morissette.
What? I've never.
That's
never
a
heard
hot
this one
take.
before. Yeah. Give
Well,
it
well,
down. Break it
say
down. Break it
more.
down.
Okay, Alanis Morissette like burned Dave Coulier, right, with that one song.
Wanna know?
You blew
Yeah.
him in a theater? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, everybody knows it was about him, and now he comes off looking like a major a-hole, right? Even like now, right? Because they play like a lot of Alanis on K-Rock, always on the 90s at noon, whatever they call it, and they're always, oh, here's Alanis Morissette. You know who that song's about? It's that guy from Full House.
Uncle Joey.
Yeah, they don't even say his name right. So he's always going to be known as the guy who was a total a-hole to this girl, even though we don't know what actually happened. That she wrote a song about him, and he's the Full House guy.
Hey, I gave you a
That's the thing, though.
hit song.
He's a C-level celebrity. That
Yeah.
makes him even more famous.
See at most.
Right? like
On a
Jake
good
Gyllenhaal's
day.
actually a
I
kind of an
mean-
A-list actor. It's like
He gave her the motivation to come up with a hit song, right?
so Dave Coulier should be lucky. He should not.
Hey,
Gotta
Kate
come from
Winslet
something.
is knocking him out of the park. She's like been with Loki. She's Jake Gyllenhaal,
John Mayer.
John Mayer. I mean, it's a whole different level, Dave. Come on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's a minor league player.
She gave her the idea. She was the inspiration for Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
But then again, how many like shitty ass bands have written songs about some girl that broke up with them, right? And all these whiny pants. Like,
I'm
But the
gonna
girls
take
are
you
always
by
nobody.
the hand and
But the
make
girls
you
are always nobody.
understand, Amanda.
but they build their careers on that. Yeah, that's the only difference, right? It happens. But all these bands in the past have built their careers of writing shitty breakup songs.
Yes, but
John
now it's
Mayer,
happening
Your
to
Body
us.
is a
But
Wonderland.
now it's happening to us. Girls can't be doing this to guys.
Right? That's
Okay, Dave going in with the problematic take again.
but really, that's who the people that have a problem with Taylor Swift are the overly sensitive. Like,
She's all right. I just
Oh,
I just don't like her
actually hear
music.
you say she's all
Yeah.
right.
She's fine. She's fine.
It's
for
fine.
comedy.
I think we could solve this by having T Swift basically date John Stamos next. That's it. Full
There we
circle.
go.
Full circle.
or date Bob Saget.
I
mean,
think he may be dead,
that'd
actually.
be, I mean, he's dead, but that'd be great, right? It'd be the trifecta.
All right, we might have left you with more questions than answers here, but I think we got to wrap it up, guys. I think we have your opinion on Taylor Swift, Bitcoin, and Trump are pretty clear here. Two bells.
And
Let's get two
CrossFit.
bells. Yeah, sorry.
I think that's the most important one we figured out. That's the one we really sussed out.
I wasn't sure until you cleared it up for me. Yeah. Well, let's give two bells for the Trump cult.
Ding,
Ding, ding, ding.
There you go. There you go. Very realistic. All right. Thanks for listening. And please join the Totally Baseless cult by subscribing. See you next week.
Obey the
Bye.
leaders.
Hashtag Swifties.
You want to know? Oh, this thing.